Hey guys, so in this video I want to go ahead and compare the Galaxy, or not the Galaxy, yeah, my Galaxy Note 2 versus my new Nexus 4. So we're gonna go ahead and do it, and if you didn't know, this Galaxy Note is my wonderful main smartphone here, and that's what I use like daily, and I love it, and it's like dope, and it's like the best phone I ever have. Or that I have. So let's go ahead and do this. Gonna go ahead and talk specs. We're gonna do speed testing. We're gonna go ahead and check out some games and some other awesome things. So let's go ahead now and start off by looking at the design and that kind of aspect. So at the front side, of course, you can see that the first thing, of course, that you will notice is that the Galaxy Note 2 here is bigger. You can see it's very much bigger, 5.5-inch display versus the little smaller display here on the Nexus 4 smartphone, basically. You can see we have a 5.5-inch display over here and a 4.7-inch display over here. You can see that we have a hardware and capacitive touch buttons here on my Galaxy Note 2, while we only have virtual buttons on my Leo Nexus 4 here. So as you can see, I can't click here because, you know, there is no button here. If I want to unlock the device, I have to click here on the side. So go ahead and now and take a look at the bottom of the devices. You can see that both rock at the bottom this little charger, USB port, and then of course on the Galaxy Note 2 we do have the S Pen, which I'm probably not going to show that much in this video because I actually don't personally myself use it a lot. But you know, when I take pictures and if I want to edit something out, I always use the S Pen. You know, it's kind of dope for doing those things. If you go ahead and take a look here at the right side on both these two devices, we do have the power on button. On the left side on both devices we also have volume up and down, and also on the Nexus 4 here we do have this little SIM slot here for your card, your micro SIM slot to insert your card over there. Of course we do have that on the back on the Galaxy Note 2 because you can remove the back and you can also replace the battery, which is two very big things, and that you also have an SD card option on the Galaxy Note 2. If you go ahead and take a look at the top, both also have very similar button layout here with the headphone jack located at the top of the device. If you go ahead and take a look here at the back of the device, of course we do have the glass pack here on the Nexus 4, while we do have a plastic that feels a little bit more cheap kind of feeling here on the Galaxy Note 2. And then of course we do have the 8-megapixel camera here on both, and then we have the Nexus logo there and the Samsung logo here. But really this kind of glass back here really feels good to hold in this hand. It really feels exclusive, and then you have this kind of rubber material around the device that makes it really comfortable to hold. It doesn't feel like you would drop it. But one other problem is that still this device feels a little bit bulky, even though it's smaller than the Galaxy Note 2. It feels bulky. It feels very bulky because there hasn't that much rounded off edges. Like the Galaxy Note 2 has extremely rounded off edges. So even if it's very big, it still feels like very comfortable, extremely comfortable actually. And I actually prefer that. You know, it's also a little bit more fat, but you know, that has extremely rounded off edges makes it extremely more like comfortable to hold, at least for me, personally, especially located here at the bottom. You can see you have a little bit more like sharp edges down there on the Nexus 4, so something that you might want to know over there. So that was just a quick little look at those little things. Let's go ahead now and start talking a little bit more about the spec side. Here you can see a thing that a girl, she did this for me. It's pretty. My name here in the middle and then the heart, pretty sweet. Yeah, she do look great. So let's go ahead now and fire them up here. As you can see, I have the same kind of button layout or kind of ish on both, so you will see how the screens performs here, and we'll be able to compare the screens kind of easy over here. They also have brightness on full on both, so of course that's pretty sweet. So if you go ahead now and talk a little bit about some specs here before we dive into some speed testing, let's just start off by saying that there are 4G variants of the Galaxy Note 2 out, but on the Nexus 4 they don't have any 4G variant out. You use a micro SIM in this one, and also a micro SIM in this Note 2 that I have. In the new iPhone they use nano SIM, and that's basically a smaller version that you can cut down with the scissor or something. Probably kind of hard to do this with your hands. The Galaxy Note 2, of course, my main phone, is longer. It is wider, clearly, as you can see, than the boy over there. And but the Nexus 4, it's thinner, a little bit thinner, and also a little bit lighter. But that's kind of obvious, probably because it's, you know, it's not as big as the big boy and the good stuff. If you now go ahead and dive a little bit into the display technology, of course the Galaxy Note 2 boy over here is using a Super AMOLED display, while the Nexus 4 here from LG is having this True HD IPS Plus display. Screen resolution on both these two devices are like 720p, but it's a little bit higher on the Nexus 4. It's 768 x 1280, while it's 720 x 1280 on the Galaxy Note 2. And just because this is a 5.5 inch display, of course the pixels per inch, the PPI of this one is not as good, the pixel density is not as good on the Galaxy Note 2 as the Nexus 4. So the PPI here on the Nexus 4 is 318 pixels per inch, or, you know, around the same as the Droid DNA. Of course, I'm pretty sure it has like 400 PPI, but the iPhone has around 330 to like 320 pixels per inch, and a lot of phone there that has 720p displays and are in this kind of like Galaxy S3 form factor. They do have that. They both have a support like a Gorilla Glass 2. But before we continue on here, which display is the best that probably people will say? I've been making a lot of reviews now on the Nexus 4, comparing it against other like AMOLED displays, and you can see more colors here definitely on the AMOLED displays. You have a little bit more contrast here, and the AMOLED, as usually I say it gives a little bit more of like a cartoon feeling, but a lot of people like a lot of colors, especially if you have a lot of colors. Usually the AMOLED display kills the Nexus 4 display. While I think I still think the Nexus 4 display is amazing, especially for Kindle reading. And when you have a lot of white colors, this display really is awesome. And as we can see over here, when we go ahead and we can see that the colors is a lot lighter, and when we go inside of the menu over here, we can see that usually black aren't as black as on the AMOLED display. The AMOLED display really kills in terms of that black color. If you also go ahead and look at like the Chrome logo here, you can definitely see that pretty intense colors here on the Super AMOLED display. As I said, I like to call it cartoon colors, and then you can also see that you get a little bit more of a fat font on the text on the AMOLED display compared to the this little display over here, the True HD IPS display. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the display technology here. Of course, both are amazing displays. I mean, we are talking two of the best phones right now, really killer phones. So of course, high-end phones do have amazing displays. There's no display over here that's bad, but I'm gonna talk about more about the display when we do some different testing and stuff like that. So if you talk about memory now, both these have 2 GB of RAM, so multitasking should be awesome for have heavy games in the background and then switch to the browser. You shouldn't have any problem there with memory. 18 and 16 GB variants though, this is a big negative thing about the Nexus 4. It's only available in 8 and 16 GB variant. There's no option there to expand that memory because it doesn't have a removable back, so you can't insert like an SD card. While the Galaxy Note 2 comes in 16, 32 and 64 GB variants plus an SD card option. And actually I don't use an SD card right now in my device, but I probably will buy that in the future. So a very, if you want a lot of storage, if you're gonna store movies and stuff like that, of course the Note 2 is really gonna kill, because it's massive display, and especially for the colors as well, the AMOLED displays, if you watch a lot of movies with a lot of colors. But the Bluetooth 4.0 also lays Bluetooth technology on both these. Also, like the iPhone has that, so should include some new cool accessories that use that. I'm quite not sure what the difference is between Bluetooth 3.0 and 4.0. It's probably not extremely major. NFC technology are both, so you can make like mobile payments and things like that. And of course, both are butter smooth here. And we're gonna go ahead and talk about the CPU here very soon. 8 megapixel camera on both, and also a front megapixel camera on both. That's one with 9 megapixel one. Now I don't usually use the front megapixel one, so I'm not gonna talk that much about it. But we'll take a look at the camera a little bit quick, and I'm gonna show you, that I really like the Note 2 camera a little bit more than the Nexus one, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say why. So if we talk about the chipset now built into these, you get the APQ8064 here on the Nexus 4, while you get Samsung's own Exynos 4412 in the Galaxy Note 2, same as in the Galaxy S3. If you talk about processor, you get a quad-core 1.5 GHz Crate one on the Nexus 4, so extremely good processor there versus the quad-core 1.6 GHz based on Cortex A9 processor. A little bit high clock, but I don't think Cortex A9 is as powerful as the quad-core 1.5 GHz Crate one in the Nexus 4. And then if you talk about the GPU, both have amazing GPUs here. The Adreno 320 GPU here in the Nexus 4, and I've been trying a ton of games like Modern Combat 4, Asphalt 7, and those are, and more like Need for Speed Most Wanted. Those are just a few games that run amazing here on the Nexus 4, and we're gonna go ahead and check out some games. While you get the Mali 400 MP GPU here in the Galaxy Note 2, same as in the Galaxy S3. So you haven't seen some gameplay on the Galaxy S3, so still very good processor there as well. Performs much better than Adreno 320 in Rockstar's GTA 3 and GTA Vice City games. Last thing here before we go ahead and move on to the next thing is the battery. You get 1000 more milliamps in the Galaxy Note 2. You get 3100 milliamps in total of battery power, so battery is extremely good. I haven't even been thinking about the battery. Battery is extremely good in the Galaxy Note 2. While you get 1000 less milliamps here, only 2100 milliamps on the Nexus 4, and it's still not bad. It's same as that you got in the Galaxy S3, but that 3100 milliamps here, it really is a good, nice little thing there. So now I quickly want to go ahead and go to the next thing, and that's going to be go ahead and load some websites and have some fun here. Gonna go ahead and do some speed testing and all those good things. So let's go ahead and start by loading some websites. And I'm just going to go ahead and go to a website called Pocket Now. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and load. Well, it loaded very quick on both. And the first thing I can see here about the display is that it looks a lot brighter, and that is something I've been saying a lot of times. When you have a lot of white colors in the browser, the True HD IPS display is a lot. It seems like it's a lot brighter, and also white looks a lot more white. But then we have this problem when you zoom in. It feels like it takes some time before the Nexus 4 reacts. That it should react earlier. It doesn't feel like I'm reacting first when I'm trying to zoom in. While on on my little Galaxy Note 2 here, it feels like the screen reacts better and instantly when I'm trying to zoom in. So I'm not really sure what the problem is there, but I get kind of pissed off at that with the Nexus 4. It's kind of like a deal breaker almost. And also the thing that when I'm zooming in and using the device like the Nexus 4, it's moving around on the table and it's annoying because it has a glass back, and that's something that Apple realized with the iPhone 5, that it's retarded to have a glass back, because then the device moves around and it's annoying when you use the smartphone. And also, if you drop the device, it could very, very easily shatter. And so of course that's something that is not fun. When we zoom in here, it's extremely annoying to do it on Nexus 4. Extremely annoying because of that thing. And that's in my White Sox video. If you want to know more about things that really do suck with the Nexus 4, I have a White Sox video. In terms of zooming in or scrolling up and down, it's buttery smooth on both, of course. But it seems like it's a lot easier here on the Note 2 to go down a long way, maybe. It's so annoying that it moves around. Like when I'm zooming in and out or up and down, it moves around. And people say buy a case, but let's say I don't want to buy a case. Like, it's retarded. Now let's go ahead and try another website. And you can notify and see kind of like the loading times, even though I don't think it will differ that much because they're both connected to my network over here at home. Let's go ahead and load the full site. Okay, there we go. Still loading. There we go. It seems like it's a little bit quicker though. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and go up where it is a lot of colors. And here we definitely can see that you get a lot of more colors, warmer colors on the Galaxy Note 2 display. If you like it, that's it's totally up to you. But this zooming thing really is one of the big things that I like so much with the Note 2. It's extremely instant, while I'm kind of scared when the phone is moving around and it makes it a little bit harder to zoom in, and then this problem with the screen that it takes a little bit too long before it notice that I'm trying to zoom in. So definitely here in the browser, I would say that the Galaxy Note 2 is the best, and here you can see also that it did load up quicker here. Go ahead and try to tap on this source. There we go, finished up quicker here on the Note 2. But as I said, one thing that's better with the Nexus 4 definitely is the display here, because we have a lot of white. It looks so much better on the Nexus 4 to the True HD IPS display. So quick little look there, and also you could see that it closed apps extremely quick there, and I did see a little bit tiny lag there when I closed the app here on my Galaxy Note 2. So that could be a thing that you might want to keep a lookout for. And yet again, I want to quickly show people how amazing the True HD IPS display is, especially when you're reading. Because first off, it has 100 more pixels per inch. Here we can really see how much more powerful it is. Let's see if we have brightness on full. There we go. Okay, so it's extremely more white. It is so much clear. The font is actually smaller. The font ain't as thick, and this is the smallest one that I can only have on the Galaxy Note 2. And I mean, look at this. Look at how amazing white looks like. Oh my god. And it's so clear. Oh my god. Even though one thing I should say here about the Nexus 4 is it's kind of weird here in Kindle. When you go up and down here in font, not a big deal though, but it kind of lags the app, while it doesn't lag here. But clearly here, white looks more white, you get more PPI. Reading, the Nexus 4 kind of kills the Note 2. So in browser, the Galaxy Note 2 is definitely a winner there for me. In Kindle reading, definitely definitely the Nexus 4. Let's go ahead and continue down now, and let's go ahead and do some quick speed testing here. There we go. As you can see, I also have the setup and everything in Swedish here on this device because it's my main device and I don't want to change right now. But they're both on the same kind of server. Let's go ahead and both connected to my Wi-Fi network. Let's go ahead and try it out here and see which one performs best. Which one first goes up to 3, which one first. And the Nexus 4 really has been performing extremely good here in speed testing, and and I think actually that is that must be yeah, definitely the Nexus 4 here, the winner at the first test here. The Nexus 4 really has been performing good here in these kinds of speed tests. There we go again, very strong here. So extremely stable connection it seems like you get with the Nexus 4. Seems like it's extremely reliable. Go ahead and try one more time here. We don't actually get as good speeds here. Okay, we got extremely good there. But I'm pretty sure the Nexus 4 is winning the speed test by a little bit over there. Let's go ahead and go to the maps. And as you can see, let's go ahead and search for place and see which one finish up quicker. There we go, tiny bit quicker here on the Galaxy Note 2. Oops. Okay, let's see. If you go by car. There we go, kind of the same, and both are located at the same place. Which display is better right now, the True HD IPS display, because we have a lot of white colors and not as many colors here. It's mostly white, and then we have some kind of grayish color here. The screen looks brighter, and she talks Swedish right now. She thinks I'm driving actually when I'm not. So the GPS also seems to be a little better here on the Nexus 4, even though it's searching for GPS right now. But this one thinks I'm already moving. Okay, that's kind of weird. So I would say in the GPS area, I would say that this one clearly, the Nexus 4 clearly is the winner over there again. Let's go ahead and exit out of that. Okay, there we go. Now let's go ahead and do some quick Twitter testing. We're loading it up. There we go. And one more time, we are in an app that has a lot of white colors. That kind of looks better here on the Nexus 4. I mean, like, that's kind of personal, but white looks better. Let's go ahead and load up a tweet. There we go, tiny bit quicker here on the device over here, the Nexus 4. There we go, I think it was a little bit quicker again. There we go, a little bit quicker again. Which one closes out first? Kind of the same there, but it's kind of hard with the Twitter app, to see which one finish up first. And now let's go ahead and go with the YouTube app. See which one open up quicker. And let's see here. Yeah, I'm signing in to different accounts. So let's go ahead and tap on my latest video. And we will see how it looks like on both these two devices. Which one looks better? Let's see when I turn on the displays. So again, you can see some warmer colors here. And which one looks better? That's totally up to you to decide. I'm pretty sure that the Nexus 4 looks more real, a real life perspective, but that doesn't mean that people like colors. People love to see a lot of colors. But yeah, this one probably looks a little bit more real. What do I prefer? That's a very, very good question. In this video, it seems like I do prefer this one. It kind of looks good here. It looks very good. It looks very, very natural. But then, sometimes I really like, a lot of colors. Maybe not in this kind of video, but in another kind of video, that could be fun. Now, let's go ahead and load up some other videos. There we go, load up quicker on the Nexus 4 in terms of streaming speed. There we go, quicker on that device. Quicker on the Note 2. Quicker again on the Note 2. A little bit quicker there on the Nexus 4. A little bit quicker on the Nexus 4. Really doesn't seem like you can pick a winner over here. A little bit quicker there on the Note 2. Both seems to be streaming extremely well there, and I mean, like, both are extremely like new smartphones, so it kind of should. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look at the camera, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you why I love the camera so much on the Galaxy Note 2. Let's see here. I've been taking like 3,000 pictures with my Galaxy Note 2, so I'm really like a guy that uses the camera a lot. So let's go ahead and fire up the camera app. There we go. So the first thing I prefer more, why I like the Galaxy Note 2's camera more than the Nexus 4, especially in the UI, is that first off, when you focus on stuff, it seems like you get a lot more details on the stuff you focus. And the second thing is, like, when I move around like this, the kind of UI doesn't lag. The sensor, it's very quick to, doesn't lag in the UI like the Nexus 4 is doing. Then also, when you take pictures, you have this kind of amazing burst mode over here. And I kind of like that you have a button there to, go ahead and, take pictures. And then, of course, I do have some custom things here already built in, like best faces. It will search for a good look here, small pictures. And then, of course, I have a lot of things here. I can, I have different kinds of filters already built in, even though I don't use it that much. But it's a nice little thing there to have if you someday, would like to, use that. Like animated, pretty cool. Pretty awesome. But the big thing is that, you could take pictures quick, it doesn't lag in the UI, and, and also that when you focus on stuff, you focus extremely quick, and I can see a lot of details. Now, if you go ahead and take a look at the this boy over here. Now, the first thing that I see and that pissed me off so much is that when I move around the camera, the UI kind of lags a little bit too much. And let's see here. You can't take pictures as quick either. Extremely annoying for me. And then also, it seems like, when you focus on stuff, it's not as quick. you know, tiny bit slower, and then also seems like it has problems to get, you know, focus on details. So it doesn't seem like it's as good, personally for me, than the, you know, the Galaxy Note 2 camera. So, you know, some quick things there about the camera. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some gaming. So I do know that, or wait a sec, before we take a look at some gaming, let's go ahead and take a look at some voice search. And of course, with the Nexus 4 over here, we get the latest version of Android first, because it's, you know, it's a Google Nexus device. So that means that I'm rocking Android 4.2.1 Jelly Bean here, while I'm only rocking 4.1 Jelly Bean here on my Note 2. So we don't have any built-in like voice search. I mean, like, we do have this new Google Now, and it's kind of like working like voice search, but we don't have like a personal assistant like S Voice or, you know, Siri. But if I want to set an alarm here, I can just tap on Google Now. Set alarm for 8 p.m. There we go. So very easy way to set the alarm if you're lazy. And if I want to do the same thing here on my Samsung device, I've been starting actually to use S Voice. Set alarm for 8 p.m.
Saving the 2000 alarm.
It's a little bit slow though in the menus, like Siri is a little bit quicker, and hopefully they could improve that in the future. But then I also can open up apps like Open Modern Combat 4. I'm pretty sure I can.
No matching applications found.
Open Modern Combat 4.
No matching applications found.
Okay, wait a sec. Open Modern Combat.
No matching applications found.
Okay, didn't find. Bye.
Let me do an internet search.
Bye. Okay, so I mean, like, you should be able to open up apps like open Twitter, which is probably kind of easy. Open up YouTube, but that's like things I'm pretty sure I can't do over here. Open YouTube. Okay, you can do those things. Okay, that's kind of cool. So it kind of works the same way. I mean, like, you can do kind of the same things, you know, on both those two assistants. So, you know, if you want the assistant and if you're too lazy to talk, it is pretty effing sweet. Now, let's go ahead and continue. Now, we are going to go ahead and open up Modern Combat 4 on both these two devices, and it has some gaming, yeah. Whoa. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start off by playing the game here on my Galaxy Note 2. And we're just gonna go ahead and continue here. So of course, one of the amazing things with the Galaxy Note 2 in gaming is the huge display. So even if the FPS is a little bit lower because it's the malformed MP GPU, I mean, of course the Adreno 320 GPU here is better, but you know, the gaming experience still can become a lot, you know, more enjoyable with the bigger screen. But I'm not gonna lie, the FPS first off is good. It's, you know, very, you know, playable. It's probably around like 30 FPS or something like that, as you can see over here when I'm playing. So you can have a very nice gaming experience here, and, you know, flash, show off to your friends. See over here. Of course, it's very hard to play games like this on camera. And I'm playing on easy, if you are wondering. So as you can see, it has like auto aiming for me. But the FPS is probably like stable 30 FPS or something like that, at least. Oh my god! I'm just gonna go ahead and take these guys out, and then we're gonna go ahead and use another device. There we go. But I really enjoy this bigger display over here, especially in gaming. Pretty sweet. I'll kill you. There we go. Okay, so you know the most amazing thing here, as I said, is the bigger display. It is pretty crazy. Now let's go ahead and take a look at it at the better GPU in the on the Nexus 4. Oh no. I'm sorry guys. I'm sorry guys. Okay, so what is the first thing I can say here? Well, the first thing is that the FPS is higher. The FPS feels a lot more stable, even though it felt like stable on the Nexus 4 or on the Galaxy Note 2. But it feels a lot more stable here. You can definitely feel that it is higher and it is better here. Oh no, it is better here on the Nexus 4. But one of the annoying things here about the Nexus 4 is definitely the virtual keys that sometimes you accidentally tap on those, like these keys down here. As you see, sometimes you accidentally could go into the menus, so that is extremely annoying. But I do know there should be a way so you can go ahead and disable those things, and also that the display is a little bit smaller makes it a little bit harder to play. I mean, like, not hard, but that bigger display really makes, I mean, like, yeah, the FPS may be around 10 FPS lower or something, but that bigger screen really makes so the gaming experience could be kind of the same. Now, in this kind of game, you don't have that many warm colors. You know, you don't have any, you know, yellow and blue colors. So the gaming experience here in terms of the display quality really doesn't make a big difference. And I died there. I did throw like a grenade. That is not good. You shouldn't do that. Now, let's go ahead and try out another game. Let's go ahead and try out Asphalt 7. And this was kind of like an interesting game when I tried. You will basically see the performance difference here. It's kind of interesting. So I'm just going to go ahead and start playing this game here on my Samsung Galaxy Note 2. And the main reason I should say why I use the Galaxy Note 2 is, you know, I really like the big display. It really is a thing that I love about the device. It's like so much dope. There we go. No, thank you. So one thing I can definitely see right now already is that it lags as hell. This game lags like crazy on my Galaxy Note 2. It's like the FPS is 10. I'm not sure if it's something wrong. I just downloaded the game, the newest update. I'm rocking Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, but the game is super laggy. I mean, like, it's like a joke. And I know that Rockstar games like GTA Vice City and GTA 3 is running so good on the Galaxy Note 2, but this game is running with so low FPS. And I love racing games, so that's why I'm showing it off. So it's pretty insane how horrible it could be. I mean, like, it's bad. It is so bad. The gaming experience, it's almost like you can't even call it a gaming experience, because, you know, it's so bad. Now, if we go ahead and try it on the better Adreno 320 GPU here, I can definitely feel that the FPS is like 20 FPS higher. And the Adreno 320 GPU really is amazing here. It seems like that Game Loft focused a lot on the Adreno 320 GPU and optimized their games for it. So it really is amazing how good it is and feels here on the Nexus 4 compared to the Galaxy Note 2. So that is something that you want to keep a lookout for, but still not as good as on the iPhone 5. This game runs way better here on the iPhone 5, or way better, like higher FPS, like 10 FPS, even more than the Nexus 4. And the iPhone 5, of course, has the SGX 543 MP3 triple core GPU. Oops. So yeah, a quick little gaming look here at another game, and I do hope you enjoyed that. Now, let's go ahead and, you know, do some benchmarking here with the NT2 benchmark program. And now we have a lot of things open up in the background, so it will be interesting to run this test here to see which one performs better. So this test will try out different things like SD card, write speed, the GPU and like the CPU and all those good things. Oh. Haha! Yes! I still have the best smartphone in the world! So I almost got a score of 18,000 here on my Galaxy Note 2. A score of around 15,000 here on my Nexus 4. Yes! I still have the best smartphone! Yes! How do you like them apples? So, especially the CPU seems to be performing a lot better here. I didn't expect that. I actually thought that the quad-core 1.5 GHz Crate one is better, but seems like the quad-core 1.6 GHz Cortex A9 with the Exynos 4412 chipset from SemiBoy is way better, way stronger here. I'm kind of surprised. GPU 7000. The GPU is actually better than the GPU over here, and that's but not by much. I mean, like, it's still it's better, but not extremely by much. RAM here way better. Betos on the Galaxy Note 2, very nice to know here. But yeah, pretty nice score, I think, and that my boy over here, he performs like a boss. Yeah, I kind of like that. I still have the killer device. This is the boy to use. So I'm just gonna end this video right now. It's Saturday. I hope that you do something fun today. If you want to go ahead and check out these phones, please go ahead and do so in the description of this video. And also, if you would like, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like down below. Yeah, and if you have a nice comment you want to write about me so I can post it up on my wall, you can also go ahead and do that. Yeah, peace out.